So I'm going to start my timer for about 5 minutes here, and I'll try to keep it within that time frame. See how we do here. All right, so first thing you're going to do, we're going to sit in a nice tall kneeling stance. Now you can come up nice and tall, or you can sit back on your heels, whatever is most comfortable for you. But first thing we're going to do is just do some presses straight out. So when we're pressing out, what I want you to do is open your fingers nice and wide and pull your fingertips up towards the ceiling. And when you do that properly, what you're going to feel is some tension through the palms and some tension all the way down the arm. So I want you to press out as far as you can. We're going to bring the chin back into a nice stacked posture, so ears on top of shoulders, shoulders on top of hips. And we're just going to start some small circles here. Now the circles shouldn't be very big, just very small circles. I want your arms to stay nice and tight. The shoulder is mostly rotating around the rotator cuff here. So we're pressing through the hands, nice and strong, and then we're going to bring the arms up. Now as you're doing that, I want you to rotate your palms towards each other. Again, we're just doing small circles, nice and easy. If you start feeling a little burning, that's okay. And we're going to switch the direction and come back down. Now, as my hands start coming down, I'm going to rotate my palms back out, just like that. And then we're going to come forward. Arms forward, press, press through the hands. Good. As we come into the front, we're going to squeeze palms together. Then we're going to do a little bit of a rotation. So you're going to slide one hand back, pull the elbow behind you, squeeze, taking a deep breath, all the way out. Reach a little bit further. Bring that forward, squeeze in the front. Do rotation on the other side. Inhale in, pull back, exhale, look back and reach. Come forward again. Squeeze palms together. We're going to do our circles back to neutral. Reach through the palms and release down. All right, now we're going to bring it down into the ground here so we can go into a table position. Again, if you can sit back on your heels, that's great. If not, sometimes you can put a little pad underneath to sit back on. So when we first start our wrist mobility sequence, we're going to go fingers forward, arms nice and straight. Now what I want you to do is press into your fingertips, lean forward, slowly, slowly. Now you should feel some decent stretch going into the wrist here. And I'm going to come on back. Let's do that one more time. Lean forward. Good, and back. Now we're going to turn our hands this way, just like this. Wrists come closer together. We're going to lean to one side. Doing good. Now you don't want to push into any kind of pain or pinching, anything like that. All right, now we're going to increase stretch. Now we're going to stretch the back of our wrists, so the forearms, called our extensor group. Now this one can be a little tighter if you have to do one side at a time. Totally fine. You're going to press down, flatten the back of the hand, lean back a little bit. As soon as you get to that end range of stretch, you're going to think of kind of dragging your hand this way up, but don't let the hand move. That's going to intensify that stretch all the way back up. Now again, you can do this on both sides, but if you're unable to without pain, it's okay to just do one side at a time. Awesome. Sit back, hold the ground, deep breaths. Perfect. All right, now we're going to rotate this way. So backs of the hands down, fingers away, sit back, and think of rotating the palms, so your thumbs kind of coming in towards each other as you sit back. That's going to just aim for a different portion of those wrists and the forearms. Excellent. This is a pretty tight one for me. Okay, we're going to shake it out a little bit. Roll your wrists one way, roll them the other way. Good. Now we're going to do some stabilizing exercises. We're going to work through our palms, pressing, rolling. So one digit at a time. Thumb, index, middle, ring finger, pinky finger. So I'm kind of rolling around the palm of my hand, keeping a nice cave portion here that's not touching the ground. And I'm leaning most of my body weight into my hands as I'm rolling around. Let's do one more. Roll in. Good. Push into the fingertips. If you can, press up off the knees a little bit. Put some weight. Shake it out. First thing I want you to do is come onto your stomach and lay it nice and flat. Head's gonna be relaxed here. We're gonna reach one hand all the way out to the side, nice and heavy. And now what we're gonna do with the opposite hand is slide and come right by our chest. So I'm gonna slowly start to press my shoulder up off the ground, and you should start to feel a little bit of a stretch into your upper arm and into your chest. So you can relax your head down, slowly press and rotate. Now notice that I'm bringing my hip up with me. I'm not doing a lot of rotation into my back here. So I'm trying to keep my back as stable as I can. If I need to increase the stretch a little bit, you could bring your leg back and over, and you should start to feel that stretch increase a little bit. So right now I'm pretty much perpendicular to my body with my arm. I'm going to come back over, slide my hand up about 45 degrees and do that same motion. Back. Now I'm pressing into this hand here. Now if you get any pain or pinching, anything like that, don't press into it. Just take a break. Be easy on yourself. Good, we'll come back. I'm going to slide from perpendicular. I'm going to go about 45 degrees down this way. Rotate my head away. Gentle pressure. Again, if you don't have to bring the leg over, you don't need to. That's just a little more advanced and can deepen the stretch. Good. Now when we're holding stretches, I recommend holding for a couple breaths. We're going to switch to the other side now. So palms in, reach the hand out, rotate the head away. Now again, we're straight out this time. Fingers are reaching away, press into the palm gently. Stretch across. Again, if you want to, you can bring this leg back and over. But again, we're not rotating through our back. You shouldn't feel a lot of stretch in your back. It should mostly be in that shoulder that's reaching back here. Okay, come back through. Go up 45, rotate away, press. Nice and easy. Good, bring it back in. Slide the hand down 45. Gentle pressure. Slow and steady. Deep breaths. Back to neutral. All right, so from here we can go into a little bit of a plank position. So I'm going to have you squeeze your knees and your feet together. And you can go up either onto your knees, or we can come up onto our toes. From this position, we're going to hold 3 breaths. Good. Now we're slowly going to lower downward. Now if you get any pain or pinching, just don't hurt yourself. Go slow and steady. All right, from here I'm going to press up to a table position. So my knees are under my hips, my hands are under my shoulders. I'm going to walk back, walk up my knees to a nice and stable position. Now from here, I'm going to go into external rotation. So I'm going to rotate my thumbs out, chest is going to come up. I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades back together, lift my chest nice and tall, deep breath for 3 breaths. 1. Good. Again. 2. 1 more. And 3. Shake out the arms a little bit. Doing good. Now we're going to reach up to the sky. Lean over to one side. If you need to, you can grab onto your hand and pull to assist. Good. Deep breath. All the way out. Back up to neutral. Deep breath in. Let's go to the other side. Good. Breath out. Let's do 1 more. Last one. And out. Now we're going to do overhead presses. Reach through the shoulder and the opposite side. Reaching through. Very simple movements. Your shoulder's going up towards your ear. You're gently looking up. You're not into a lot of extension. Just a little bit of extension. Reaching up. Hold. Other side. Let's do 2 more. Good. Last one. Shake it out. Doing good. Get a little blood flow going. We're gonna move into some hip mobility. So for this one, we're gonna start with the legs out in front. And from here, all we're gonna do is just start by lifting the chest. You should start to feel a little bit of stretch through the hamstrings here. So as you're lifting up, deep breaths in and out. We'll do 3 deep breaths, lifting nice and tall. Excellent. One more. And out. Awesome. Now for this, we'll bend the knees up, feet will go flat. Now we're going to let the knees drop to either side. One side or the other, doesn't really matter. We're going to get into our 90-90 position. So 90 degrees flexion at your hip, 90 degrees flexion at the knees. Now from here, I'm going to press up a little bit and make sure that I'm not rotating a lot into my back. If this is really hard for you to get into, you could use some yoga blocks or some pillows underneath your knees to keep that up so you're not getting as much strain into the hip. If this is super painful for you, the best thing to do would just be to go back to your spinal hygiene exercises and work on range of motion until that frees everything up. So from here, we're going to lift up nice and tall, and slowly I'm going to reach my chest forward as I walk my hands out. Now if you're able to, you can rest your elbows on the ground, and I'm kind of pulling my chest forward as I push my butt backwards. And that should create a nice stretch into the hip here. Breathe in, all the way out. Perfect. If you can go down further, that's awesome. Sometimes you can use your hands stacked on top of one another, or if you're able to go a little further, use your hands flat. Now, if you can't go down that far at all, just keep your hands flat here and kind of pull the ground and lift the chest up. Now we're going to use our body to move to the other side. Knees are going to come up, and we're going to switch positions here. All right, chest is going to be up nice and tall. We're going to press up. There we go. And slowly walk the hands out until we can feel a nice stretch into the hip. Now you can either press your elbows down, right? You can stack your hands, whatever's comfortable for you. And take a few breaths in this position. One more. As you breathe out, just let everything settle, maybe sink in a little deeper. Fantastic. And you're going to press into your hands, walk it up, bring the legs into the middle, shake them out a little bit. Now we're going to bring one leg in here, just like this, into the side. Now, if you don't get a stretch into your hip with this one, if your knee lies flat, what you can do is put the leg over the thigh to create a little extra stretch. So from here, I'm going to press into my knee and lean my body away until I feel a stretch in the front of my hip here. A couple deep breaths. Good. Let's try the other side. Cross over. Now again, if you don't need to cross over, you can keep the leg flat. I have a little bit of flexibility in my hips from being a gymnast for most of my life, which jacked my body up, but I'm still a little flexible, so I still got to work with my end ranges a little differently. Press into the knee, rotate away a little bit, chest stays up, and breathe. Perfect. Shake it out a little bit. So what I want you to do is get into a table position. So we'll go knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. From this position, you're going to press into the ground, round your back, let your head drop down to the floor, pull your belly button in towards your spine. And then from here, we're going to pull the ground towards us, let the belly drop, chest comes down, shoulders squeeze together, and gently look up. We're going to repeat this 3 more times, push through. You should really start to feel that stretch into the mid-back. As you come down in the front, it should go through the abdomen and up into the chest a little bit. Let's do 2 more. Press through, make sure you breathe in. Press down, hold the ground as you lift the chest. Look up gently. 1 more. Push through. Good. Hold the ground. Lift up. Good. Now we're going to sit back on our heels. Again, if this is an uncomfortable position, put a pillow under your bottom here. Slide your hands towards your knees. We're going to do that same exact movement, but now we're going to target the upper back. So press the hands into the ground, push through, drop the chin, pull the ground towards you. Now for this one, it's a little different. I want you to shrug your shoulders down and back as you pull the back of your head straight back. And then press the ground, let the head drop. Pull the ground towards you. So I'm pulling the ground in. As I lift my chest, pull my shoulders down and back as I press my head back behind me. So that should feel very tight between the shoulder blades on that one. Push through, let it drop, pull, and lift. Good, one more. Press through, pull, and lift. Good. Now we're going to come up to a nice tall position. We're going to do a kneeling founder position. So get our decompression breath going. So we're going to big breath in, lift the rib cage up. Breathe out, pull the belly in, lock it in place. Hands are going to come back into extension. So shoulders back, palms open, wrists extended. And then we're going to bring the hips back about 2 inches here. Right until you start to feel your glutes firing. If you don't feel your glutes firing, that's okay. You might feel some burning in your lower back. We're going to hold that position again. Nice deep breath in again. Lift the rib cage up. Breathe out. Pull the belly in tight. Let's do another one. Lift a little higher this time. Breathe out. Pull the belly in. Yeah. Now we're going to reach forward, create that sphere of tension with our fingertips. Come up as high as you possibly can without pain or pinching. Hold that position, decompression breath. All the way out. Pull that belly in tight. You should be shaking a little bit here. Big breath in. All the way out. Pull, pull, pull. Good. Now I want you to come to shoulder height. Keep those hips back just a little bit. You're going to pull the elbow back. Pull, pull, pull. Deep breath in. All the way out. Reach a little further. Bring it back together. We're going to go to the other side. Should be burning here. Squeeze together. Pull back. Deep breath in. All the way out. Reach a little further behind you. Bring it together. Fingertips together. Keep it squeezing. Should be back behind your knees a little bit with the hips. Extension position. 2 more decompression breaths. All the way in. All the way out. Keep it going. 1 more. And out. Lift up nice and slow. Shake it out. 1 foot forward. You're going to lean your knee out towards the front. If you get any pain in your knee at all, don't worry about it. Don't push into it. Slide your foot forward a little bit maybe if you're going too far. Good, nice deep breaths. Bring it back. Last one. Other foot forward. Shift. You should feel some nice pull into the front of the body. If you really want to dial into this one, tuck your tailbone down underneath you as you lift your chest up. And all the way out. Nice and slow. Back to center. Shake it out. Wipe your brow.